Live from McCoy Stadium in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, New England Sports Network presents exclusive coverage of Pawtucket Red Sox baseball. Tonight, the Paw Sox host the Philadelphia Phillies AAA ball club, the Scranton-Wilkes Barre Barons. And hi, everyone, and welcome to the field here on a beautiful night for baseball at McCoy Stadium. I'm Andy Freed along with Rico Petroselli. And Rico, the Paw Sox, after a day off, I think excited to get back into action, and also because Dustin Hermanson is going to pitch in relief. He's not going to start, but he's going to be working out of the bullpen. Of course, he hurt himself, the groin injury, back on April the 3rd at Fenway Park, and the groin injury is so tough because you're never quite sure exactly when you're recovered.
That's right. You know, I've had that myself, and when I did have it, it took a long time to heal, and then it came back just about every year. So I hope he's okay. The Red Sox need him desperately. They need help in the bullpen. If he can come back and throw the way he can throw, way he normally throws, he's going to be a big help to the Red Sox.
Well, of course, he's been with the Cardinals in postseason baseball last year, so he knows how to pitch down the stretch. And like you're saying, this bullpen could use some help.
Oh, without a doubt. Let's face it, you can always use pitching. There's never enough pitching. But the bullpen has struggled here and there. But Hermanson is the type of guy that could come in and really give them a big lift. Well, I mean, psychological lift as well.
Well, it's an exciting day, I think, in the minor leagues for the Red Sox organization, especially at the higher levels, because we're getting a chance to see here in Pawtucket today a call-up. Freddie Sanchez, one of the top prospects in the organization, is here, fresh off his All-Star game home run in the AA All-Star game. We're getting a look at it, and you'd like to get a hot hitter when he's coming up from AA.
Well, it's nice to see the Red Sox start to move guys, start to move some of their prospects, and he's a definite prospect. He's a good hitter, he's a very good shortstop. And he looks as though he's going to be able to hit big league pitching. And I think he's going to help this club, too, the rest of the year.
Well, he was hitting so well, reached base in 41 consecutive games down at AA. Earlier on, we got a chance to ask him how excited he was about the call-up.
Spent a lot of time in Trenton, and I really liked it there. The people were great here, and I've heard nothing but good things up here also, so I'm hoping the transition will be easy and fun.
Long time in the coming for Freddie Sanchez. He's here with the Paw Sox. And we've got Paw Sox baseball with Sun Woo Kim back from Boston on the mound here at McCoy Stadium. Starting lineups are coming up next right here on NESN. Pawtucket Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Dunkin' Donuts. Escape to a cooler place with a cold, refreshing iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. The manager of the Pawtucket Red Sox, Buddy Bailey, as his troops fresh off a day off, get ready to open up a 3-game series here against not just any team, Rico, the best team in the league. And it's been kind of rough going for the Paw Sox. They're still in last place, and it's tough, obviously, when you got to come after an off day, even though a lot of roster changes, which could help freshen things up. But this is by far the best team in the league so far.
Well, Scranton, you know, they always seem to put a good ball club on the field. And I remember the years I managed, the year I managed in '92, they beat us out by a game for the semifinals of the league, actually. And guy made a great catch in center field in Scranton, and we went home, and they went on to the championship round. So, yeah, they usually have some pretty good players, and like the Red Sox, their ball club, their big ball club, would like to see a few prospects develop and get to the big leagues to help that team.
And it's a night to really think about prospects, too. Freddie Sanchez is here, and a guy, of course, that spent a little time with the Red Sox in spring trading down at Fort Myers. But what a bang-up year he was having with AA Trenton. We saw his home run in the All-Star game, and you talk about a guy that's a little bit pumped up right here, getting ready to take the field for the first time in AAA.
He's got to be pumped up. Naturally, this is what he's looking to do, what he's worked so hard for. Wilton Veras is also back, and hopefully he's straightened out. And, you know, you got a couple of kids you look at. Now, Sanchez, you know, being a shortstop, you say, well, geez, Red Sox have Nomar there. What do you do? Well, that's a good problem to have. You could either put him at second base, put him at third base, or move Nomar someday.
And with Wilton Veras back on the club, too, they'll have to find some time for him back in the infield as well. For Shane Andrews as the third baseman most of the time, at least since since Wilton went back. And of course, Dustin Hermanson is here, and that is truly the main story of the night. He's going to work out of the bullpen. His first appearance, Rico, was outstanding, and the health is the most important thing.
Yeah, of course, his groin, without a doubt, you want to make sure he's 100%. But he's the guy that everybody's been waiting for. I mean, he had that groin injury, and he's been out a long, long time for a groin injury. Must have been bad. But he's coming back now, and he can really help that club, the Red Sox, the rest of the season once he gets back up there. Whether it's in the bullpen or he has to spot start, whatever it is, you need that other arm in there, and a guy that has a lot of experience.
And you get the feeling, too, at least I do, that with Hermanson back, well, that roster in many ways in Boston is kind of complete. It's the staff that we thought we might have.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there have been some other injuries, but at least to get him in there, I think establishes a presence and a veteran presence for a team that I think needs a little bit of help.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know Rich Carson's been struggling a little bit, and you know, with Hermanson coming back, they put him in the bullpen and let him get himself going, pitch a couple of innings in, say, middle relief. You know, if he gets strong and the groin is okay, boy, now you can, you know, you're not worried about going to your bullpen.
As the Paw Sox take the field here, and we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Scranton-Wilkes Barre Red Barons under manager Mark Bombard. Jason Knupfer, hot hitter, leading things off. P.J. Forbes, a veteran, is hitting 2 in left field. Chase Utley, a big third base prospect. He might take over for Scott Rowland next year. He hits third. Dave Doster, the veteran at shortstop, hitting cleanup. Eric Valent, we've seen him at Fenway before. Last year in interleague, he hits fifth and is in right field. Marlon Byrd, a clone, some say, of Kirby Puckett, is at center field for the Red Barons. Johnny Estrada's been up with the Phillies, a switch hitting catcher. Bruce Avon over from the Indians, and then J.P. Roberts rounds it out of the 9 spot.
I gotta say it. Don't say the word clone, please. No. The defense for the Paw Sox: Darnell Stenson in left field, Rob Ryan center, Jeff Abbott in right field. The infield, it's Wilton Veras at third, Freddie Sanchez at shortstop, Angel Santos the second baseman, Todd Betts at first, Kevin Brown behind the plate, and doing the pitching, right-hander Sun Kim. He's got a record of 1-2.
And there's the 24-year-old Sun Woo Kim, back from the Red Sox after a couple of starts with Boston. Of course, he started the year in the bullpen with the Red Sox. Came back to the Paw Sox in early June, pitched very well as a starter. When went back up to the Red Sox, started 2 games, beat the Blue Jays, got a no decision, didn't pitch too well against the Tigers, and now he's back. But I think we're seeing much more aggressive Sun Woo Kim, Rico, than we've seen in prior years.
Well, yeah, he is much more aggressive. I think he's got some experience now, you know, playing pitching in the big leagues, and I believe he thinks he can do a good job there. He's the type of guy, still young, but I would love to see him one more pitch. Come up with one more good off-speed pitch, whether it's a split finger or some kind of a good changeup.
And there's the umpires. Don Collar is going to call the balls and strikes. Travis Reininger is at first and Scott Packard at third. Veteran crew here in the International League. Just getting underway, and Jason Knupfer leads off here for the Red Barons. And Kim starts him with a fastball. The thing about Kim, Rico, even when he was coming up from single A to double A to triple A in the big leagues, he's got that big league fastball, and it's off of that everything else works.
Yeah, he throws about 92 miles an hour, and you know, it's a pretty good moving fastball, but not overpowering. So he's got to have some other pitch. Got to come up with either a good off-speed curveball
like that,
right on cue. But I think another pitch, I really believe, more of a straight changeup, but a good one, really a good off-speed, something that goes down a little bit. Here's the breaking pitch. You see how off-speed it is, and it just really went right down in the strike zone. Tough pitch to hit. Once you lose a little bit, though, off that breaking pitch, and it doesn't bite as much, then the hitters start wailing on it.
That one there had some pretty decent bite to it. And one away. Now here's P.J. Forbes, first ball swinging. Right to Angel Santos, 2 away. So 2 very quick outs here by Sun Woo Kim, beginning the top of the first inning. Kim a record of 1-2 with the Paw Sox. Talk about an opportunistic lineup he's going up against today. And the Red Barons, one of the top scoring teams in this league. As we were saying, one of the best overall teams. 61-33 is their record. Here's Chase Utley. Some are saying, Rico, the heir apparent to Scott Rowland at third base in Philadelphia.
Might happen soon, too.
Well, there's all sorts of talk about exactly what the Phillies are going to do. They have a third baseman at Double-A that they're very high on, named Travis Chapman. They think eventually could be the third baseman. Utley, they've had some problems with his throwing from third base. So they may, in fact, move him back to second base and try to deal Marlon Anderson. The Phillies do have options because their farm system continues to be pretty strong.
Utley looks more like a second baseman.
Well, that's what he played. How about this, Rico? A guy changing from second base to third base and going from single A to triple A all within one off season.
Pretty good.
Kind of a tall order. Almost hit him, and it's even a 2-2.
You know, the player wants to do it. It's not a question of him being too nervous. You know, he wants the opportunity to move up fast. So he's going to be happy about it, and he could do the job.
Got him. Good inning by Sun-Woo Kim. 3 up and 3 down. Can't do much better than that. Red Barons are gone in order in the first. Hey, Bob Rogers is here. He's going to be with you, Rico, when we come back. So you guys have a good game.
Where has he been? He just came in. The helicopter just...
The Learjet has arrived. Back of the home first after this, Odessa.
Get the audio problems corrected here at McCoy Stadium. Thank you to Andy Freed for stepping in while I made my way from the NESN studios at Fenway Park after doing extra innings with Jim Corsi. The Red Sox won this afternoon. And let's see if the Pawtucket Red Sox can continue with the good luck for the Red Sox today. Let's try to run down the lineup for you quickly. Rob Ryan will lead off and steps in at 258 with 2 home runs and 10 RBI. Spoils that one. Here's the rest of the lineup. Batting second is newly called up Freddie Sanchez, one of the prize prospects in Double-A. He's the shortstop tonight. Jeff Abbott bats third. He's the right fielder. Todd Betts is at first. Shane Andrews, the DH. Wilton Veras back up with the Pawtucket Red Sox. He's the third baseman. Angel Santos is at second. Darnell Stenson in left. And Kevin Brown bats ninth. He is behind the plate.
Scranton, Forbes, Bird, and Valent in the outfield. It's Utley, Doster, Knupfer, Roberger, and Estrada.
That ball is ripped down the line, but just does hook foul. Rico, it's a lot of fun with handheld microphones and trying to...
It is different, that's for sure. But this is a pretty good ball club, the Scranton team, and Brian Reef is the pitcher. He's 6-7 on the year, big right-hander. We're in the minor leagues. You can see 39 and 33 for an average in 115 games.
The 2-2 pitch down and away. It's a full count. So this Pawtucket Red Sox team, Rico, has a drastically different look than the last time we saw this team on NESN. A lot of new faces.
Well, of course, Wilton Veras coming back up.
Swing and a miss and a strikeout to the leadoff hitter Rob Ryan.
And Freddie Sanchez, I think a lot of people are excited as we look at this pitch here. Tailing fastball, a little out of the strike zone. He couldn't catch up with it.
This is one of the prospects that a lot of teams talk about when they talk trade with the Red Sox. Had a home run in the Double-A All-Star game. And unless he moves his position, I would say making it to the big leagues with the Red Sox will be very difficult. You see he has a .328 average in 80 games at Double-A. Also had that very long hitting streak for the Trenton Thunder.
Yes, and well, you know, if he can hit, if he's a good player, good baseball mind, and I think, you know, you got to find a place for him if he continues his development.
Well, how difficult would it be for him to move from maybe shortstop to second base? We've watched Ray Sanchez do it with the Red Sox. Is that a move that he'd move that way, or would he move to third base?
Well, I would say moving to second base, yes.
Big swing and a miss, and so Reed has struck out the first two batters he's faced here in the top of the first.
Again, if he continues his development, you know, he looks like he doesn't hit too many home runs. He hits the ball to all fields, pretty good speed, and good defensive player. So he's that type of player, maybe a number 2 hitter.
So here is Jeff Abbott, the right fielder. He stands in at .289, 8 home runs, 34 driven in. Taps that one to short, and it's thrown away by Foster, but quickly bounces back in, and Abbott will stay at first base.
Well, that's maybe too easy a play for him. Makes easy catch here. See a little backhand, gets himself set, and now he just lets the ball go and throws it too high. That's a play where the first baseman probably should have got off the bag and jumped for that ball to prevent it from going by and the runner going to second base, but still not a great throw.
And they do charge Doster with the error, so the Paw Sox have a base runner here in the first. Brings up the first baseman, Todd Betts. Betts takes the first pitch for a ball. He stands in at .288 with 11 home runs and 34 driven in. Pitch, a called strike. It's 1-1.
Pretty patient hitter most of the time up there, Todd Betts. And he's a guy that can pop one out of the park once in a while, but hits to all fields. Usually makes contact, doesn't strike out too much.
He has watched his average steadily rise. He has gone 38 for his last 124. It's a 307 clip. All kinds of technical adjustments being made in the booth. Pitch misses. It's 3-1. Do you think Andy Freed did something to sabotage it?
I don't know. Did he press a button over there somewhere
I think
underneath?
that's what happened.
Could be my hairspray, too.
3-1 pitch to Betts, in there for a called strike, and it's a full count, 3-2, and with the full count and 2 outs, Jeff Abbott will get the head start at first base. Three-two pitch down the line and left, and that one is slicing foul back into the, well, towards the seats anyway, to that open area down there in left field. Beautiful night here at McCoy Stadium. Terrific weather to watch baseball, and they continue to pile in. Left field berm starting to fill up out there in left field, and the bleachers in right also quite full. Couldn't ask for much better than this in terms of weather to watch baseball. Nice and comfortable. Again, the 3-2 pitch from Reed. Fouls back up on the roof.
The Scranton team, Bob, has an ERA as a team of 3.04, and that's very, very good. A number of players under 2, a couple of guys under 2, yeah. Under 3 also, a number of them.
So, Rico, it's
Look at
not surprising then to see them at the top of in the league now at 61 and 33 to see that kind of pitching.
Absolutely, and they're hitting 271 clip as a team, also pretty good.
Again, the 3-2 lobbed into right center field for a hit. On the play, Jeff Abbott will go to third, and the Paw Sox have runners at the corners with 2 outs here in the first.
Well, that's Todd Betts. He gets the bat on the ball, hits to all fields, as I mentioned, and this one he just throws his hands out. Right here, ball away from him, actually off the plate, but he just reaches for it and gets the good wood on it. Just, shoots it out there for a base hit.
And that will bring up the designated hitter, Shane Andrews. Andrews is hitting .241. 14 home runs and 41 driven in. He'd like to drive in at least one more right here with runners at the corners and 2 outs. His 14 home runs leads the ball club. And he has the lead for RBI on the team as well. One better than Angel Santos. Big swing and a miss. He's in a quick 0-2 hole.
Yeah, Juan Diaz has 12 home runs. Andrews 14 and Betts 11. But you notice the RBI at this point in the season should be at least per man. That's the regular players. Maybe another 10 each. They're in the 40s and 30s.
0-2 pitch, sky to left, but not very deep. P.J. Forbes camps under it, and he has it for the out to retire the side. So the Paw Sox threaten but do not score. We've played one at McCoy. We're coming back on NESN after this. We are back at McCoy Stadium. The Paw Sox and Scranton-Wilkes Barre, no score, and we have our headsets back. I'm not sure if Rico has his eardrums, but hello, Rico. Can you hear me? Poor guy.
That miracle ear, where is it?
I'm following it. I can't get up. Let's show you the standings, because the Scranton-Wilkes Barre Red Barons, the best in the International League at 61 and 33. The Pawtucket Red Sox well back, 24.5 games off the pace at 38 and 59. An unusual spot to be in for the Paw Sox, Rico, to see them at the bottom of the division. Of course, this is kind of a, you don't usually talk about a rebuilding year at the AAA level, but that's really, in essence, what this is for the Red Sox organization.
Oh, you're right. And, you know, with the new ownership of the Red Sox and kind of revamping here and there, and you just got to be patient. You got a couple of kids come in now that came back from AA.
Well hit ball by David Doster, but it's to center field, and Rob Ryan chases it down, 1 out. Good-looking team for Scranton. A lot of nice-looking young players.
Physically, or
well, no, I'm just saying in general they have some good players.
Yeah, no, I was down there before. They got a couple of good-looking guys. The rest of them, geez.
You're hanging around with our stage manager too much, Anita. That's basically how she judges the teams. Who we playing tonight? And then we determine at that point what kind of a quality of an opponent it is. Doesn't matter about the record.
Yeah. Well, what the heck?
Eric Glenn grounds the ball to second base. Angel Santos is there, 2 outs. Rico, after watching Sonny Kim pitch for the Boston Red Sox and some of the success he had, one of the games in particular, he had a lot of fly ball outs, and I think that made the Red Sox a little bit uncomfortable. Not just to start where he was roughed up, but just the fact that so many balls were being lifted in the air, working up in the zone. I would think part of his goal right now is to try to get more ground ball outs.
Definitely try to keep the ball down, but a lot of pitchers can't keep the ball down consistently. I mean, they're just, for whatever reason, I mean, a guy like Derek Lowe, who's a natural sinker baller, you know, keeps the ball down, plus he's got a little velocity, tough to hit. But many other pitchers are very tough. They'll throw some down, and others, you know, we wouldn't call down. Thigh high is not down. That's a good pitch to hit 900 miles.
Marlon Byrd takes that pitch for a ball. It's 2-1. Byrd at .301 with 10 home runs and 47 runs batted in. 2-2.
got to look at a pitcher here, you know, and just visualize him facing big league hitters. There's certain pitches that he gets away with here that he wouldn't get away with in the big leagues. I mean, big league hitters miss pitches too. You know, they foul off pitches down the middle, or hanging curveballs too. So it's not.
3-2 pitch misses outside, and Bird draws the 2-out walk. So Scranton with their first base runner of the night, and that'll bring up Johnny Estrada, the catcher. A lot of these guys, Rico, have very strong batting averages. You look right down the line. Here's another 300 hitter in the bottom third of the order, hitting .308 with 10 home runs and 47 RBI.
See some of the ages of
Estrada now. He was born on June 27th, 1976. So because we're good at math, we know he's 26. Now he's played second base by Santos, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, a man left aboard. We've played 1.5. There's no score in Pawtucket. Back in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, the Red Sox were winners this afternoon against the Detroit Tigers. Manny Ramirez going deep. In fact, Manny had a 5-hit ball game, the first of his career, and Trot Nixon belting a grand slam.
Yeah, I saw the game. Actually, I went back home from the office, and the change to come here, and I was kind of watching the game while I was changing. I had a little time.
You did? What time did you get here?
I got here pretty early today. 6 o'clock.
No, did you really?
Yeah.
No kidding. Boy,
but Manny, I guess his finger's okay.
You know, Rico, he had made the comment that part of the reason why he was looking so different in the batter's box repeatedly was the fact that he was making adjustments, trying to figure out what's the best way to hold the bat, what's the best way to relieve the pressure. But I think in the last couple of days, we've seen the fact that finger is feeling a lot better, and that's certainly good news.
Yeah, and why didn't he say anything about it?
Well, you know how it was. He was getting a lot of pressure from the folks, and not within the organization, but the way the media treated the situation. People wanted him back even sooner than he did come back.
Best thing was him coming down to Pawtucket. And even then, he probably could have used a little more time. And
he may have come back to Pawtucket maybe a little bit early as well. Here is Wilton Veras.
When the club is losing, you know, and struggling, especially offensively, you get that type of hitter, and you want him back in the lineup.
Now, I wish that Wilton Veras could eliminate the numbers that he had here in Pawtucket before he went down to Double-A, just so he can come back feeling good about himself. He looks up on the scoreboard and sees that 208 average. If he continues to swing the bat like he did in Trenton, and this is a good way to return, he'll get that average up there into the gap in left center field, and Wilton Veras has started the second with a double. That's a nice sight.
That's a nice sight, and he did something there that we saw very little of earlier in the year. Lift the ball. You see how he reached out for that ball. I mean, he really didn't put a great swing on it. It was a pitch down, maybe even away. And he just reaches for it. Look at that. Ball was below his knees. Took a little flick at it and drives it to left center field. Now, yeah, that's a good sign. A very, very good sign.
Now, Rico, it seems to me, and we'll have to watch in his next at-bat, it seems to me maybe he's made an adjustment in his stance. It seems like he's holding his hands a little bit higher than he did before he went down. But we'll have to watch that. You certainly know him better than I do.
That could be, but I'll tell you, that's one of the best moves the Red Sox made, sending him and Lemazny down. So I know Lemazny's struggling. But Wilton really needed just to get away from the Boston area here in Pawtucket and Boston and just go and find himself again. And I'm sure they helped him over there. Coaches, I'm sure, helped out too.
Santos tries to lay down the bunt, and that one will stay foul. Nice to see Wilton Veras up, and I'm also glad to see that Freddie Sanchez now gets a shot to play at the AAA level. We've heard so much about him. We don't get a chance to see him very often playing in Trenton, playing below AAA, but it's nice to see him up now. We can kind of keep an eye on his progress.
Did you see him in Lowell at all?
I've seen him a couple of times at each of his stops, and I've been impressed with him every place he's been.
He's been very good everywhere he's been.
Santos, the hitter, and Darnell Stenson waits on deck.
Brian Reith looks tall. He is tall, 6'5".
0-2 pitch is popped up foul. Plenty of room for Utley, and he makes the play. 1 out. Lots of room here in foul territory at McCoy Stadium.
Well, tried to get him over the first time with the bunt, couldn't do it, and decides to swing away. Maybe Buddy gave him the okay to swing away because it's very early in the game, but he just couldn't get the ball to the right side.
Here is Darnell Stenson, who is hitting .258 with 7 home runs and 28 RBI. Such an opportunity, Rico, for these outfielders, whether it's at the AA or AAA level within this organization, because the Red Sox right now are just begging for one of these guys to step up and say, hey, I can help you at the big league level, and it just does not happen for a lot of these outfielders.
No, they've struggled all year long for the most part.
In fact, we have seen the team release Michael Coleman.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised at that. Michael was with injuries, and it just didn't look like he wanted to play. He looked like he didn't. I don't think he believed he could get the chance to play in the big leagues.
You know, the similarities between Michael Coleman and Carl Everett, to me, were eerie watching him as he made his return. Not so much in spring training, because it did seem like a new Michael Coleman. He did all he could at that time to make a good impression, but when he got hurt and then had to come down here, it just seemed like everything. The wheels came off and gained weight. He's really big.
Yeah. Made a lot of mistakes on the bases, in the outfield, didn't run balls out. Yeah, that's what it looked to me. He said, you know, I'll never get the chance again.
Stenson in the 0-2 hole watches that pitch in the outside corner. It's 1-2. Hangs at 1-2.
I got a decent pitch to hit right there. Stenson has gone the opposite way a lot more in the last couple of years. He was early on when he first came around. I was very young, but he was mostly pulling everything. He was hitting a few more home runs. Now he's kind of gone the opposite way a little bit more. Still not hit for the average, and has hit less home runs.
Here's the 1-2. In on the fish, popped up, and the catcher will take charge. As Estrada told Reith, get out of there, it's my ball, and he makes the play, and Wilton Veras stays at second base.
Well, the pitcher always wants that pop. You know, he wants it. It looks so easy.
And why can't he catch it?
Well, you see, the pitcher's reputation as far as being an athlete in professional baseball is next to nothing.
Which is amazing to me, Rico, because most of those pitchers were the stars of their teams at every level growing up.
But, you know, really, even now, you know, they say keep the pitchers away from tagging runners, the rundowns, you know.
Well, see, that part I could understand, because you don't want a pitcher to get spiked or get hurt. I mean, you guys, position players, you guys are a dime a dozen.
That's right.
The pitchers, you know, they're the assets of the organization.
They're the golden nugget.
Here is Kevin Brown, under 200 at 198 with 6 home runs, 17 driven in, grounds that one to short. Doster makes the play, and this time throws a strike across the diamond. So the leadoff double goes for naught. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. With played 2 at McCoy, there's no score.
We go to the top of the 3rd inning. No score in this ball game, and it's a great night for a game. Nice crowd on hand at McCoy. Well, NESN is your ticket to the 2002 Boston Red Sox, and it's the year to be here. Stay tuned to NESN for our next Boston Red Sox game. Tomorrow night as NESN cameras head south for a divisional showdown with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 6:30, only on NESN.
And after the ball game tomorrow night, Bob Tewksbury will be with us in studio on Extra Innings. Tukes was down here a little bit earlier today to talk to Casey
Was
Fossil.
he here? I had we played in a golf tournament together last Monday. He's just a terrific guy. Absolutely one of the guys. If he was a teammate of mine, he would be a guy I wanted to hang around with.
Absolutely. Really knows the game.
Yes, he does.
And he is a mentor in the Red Sox organization for several pitchers, including Casey Fossil. There's Dustin Hermanson. You got a quick glimpse of him. We'll be seeing him later today. Haven goes swinging at the first pitch and skies it back of second base. Santos now ranging towards shortstop. Stays with it for the out. Freddie Sanchez wanted no part of that ball. Gave Hey Santos, it's your ball.
Well, that's right. Until I get used to the sky here and the dirt and the grass, you take everything. I don't think so. I think he just said, okay, you take this one, but that's it. That is it for the rest of the year. You know, those two kids, when I say kids, Santos is a young kid too. He's got good hands there. I can't wait to see them make that double play. They got ability to show a lot of quickness out there.
Well, a lot of baseball left to be played this summer at McCoy Stadium, and don't let the record fool you. Now the fact that the Red Sox have brought up Wilton Veras and Freddie Sanchez, and now you have Casey Fossum and Sonny Kim, and it's starting to be a collection that you'll want to watch on a nightly basis. So the rest of this summer, despite the record, should be a lot of fun here at McCoy.
Well, you know, you continue to wait for Stenson to get hot, and Diaz, both with the potential to hit certainly for a higher average and hit some more home runs, RBI. They just haven't been able to get a good streak going so far this year. So hopefully they can finish up strong with some of the young kids here now. And you got an interesting combination of players.
The 1-2 pitch from Sonny Kim is spoiled. Count hangs at 1-2. 2 strikeouts so far for Kim through 2 1/3. Only base runner of the game, Marlon Byrd for Scranton, with a walk in the second. Paw Sox have a couple of hits. The 1-2. Check this swing. Did he go? Check down at first base. No, did not go, according to Travis Reininger. Two swing and a miss. Got him. Third strikeout for Kim.
It's a good pitch there. Down in the strike zone, you see here below the knees. The pitcher is going to try to make contact somehow, but you're right. Kim seems even more aggressive, much more aggressive than I've seen. Working faster. His problem in the past, I know, when he started was after the 4th inning. Second time around, 4th, 5th inning or so, he starts to make some mistakes middle of the plate.
0-1 pitch challenges Jason Numfer on the pitch on the inside half. Misses. It's 1-1. Gets him up in front on that one. It's 1-2. Numfer struck out looking his first time up. Fouled back, and Kevin Brown watches it sail into the seats. Two outs here in the third. Sonny Kim so far in command for the Paw Sox. That pitch driven to center. Back goes Rob Ryan. Back dives and makes a tremendous catch in left center field. What a beautiful catch by Rob Ryan. to take away a hit from Jason Nuffer. Wow. We've played 2.5. No score, McCoy.
Bottom of the third inning, no score in this game, and Rob Ryan with a great catch in center field to take extra base hits from the Scranton team, and boy, that was one of the best catches we've seen all year. Well, this season on NESN, you'll get extra interviews, extra highlights, and extra analysis on extra innings. NESN's expanded post-game show, brought to you by Keyspan, putting more energy into life. After the last inning, the action's just beginning.
You've been a guest on extra innings.
I have. It was fun.
Jerry Remy's giving Corsi and I a hard time about the way he thinks we're pampered in the studio.
Oh, no kidding.
Just the fact that we have the caviar and the makeup
chicken
people
fingers
and all that, the great food. But,
well, I don't know.
well, you tell me. You were in the studio with us. Are we spoiled? I don't think so.
Well, I think that you guys, you might be a little spoiled, but I think you work hard for your spoiledness.
Hey, how many times do you see this? A guy like Rob Ryan makes this great catch to end the second inning, and he's a leadoff man, or to end the third inning for Scranton, makes this great catch, and then he leads off the inning.
Seems like it's 90% of the time here. I thought this ball was over. As soon as it was hit, this is extra bases. Boy, he just put on the afterburners and just made a terrific catch.
Certainly covered some ground out there in center field. So Rob Ryan leads it off as we're back at the top of the order. Rob Ryan, Freddie Sanchez, and Jeff Abbott.
Well, what do you think the percentage is of the guy making the great catch, coming up first, and hitting a home run?
It's not good, Rico. It's not good, but it happens. I would say less than 2% of the time. So if it happens, we've seen something truly special.
2%, that's high, I think.
Well, for Rob Ryan as well, considering the fact that he only has 2 home runs, that would be even more special, and he gets the benefit of that call as it just misses low, 1 and 2. Outside, 2 and 2. Now Reed was claimed off of waivers from the Cincinnati Reds in July 11th. He had been pitching up and down in that organization. Swing and a miss for Ryan, so there's your percentage, Rico.
Yep, just went below 1%.
Ryan strikes out for the second time in the game. Here's Reed in 9 career games in the big leagues. That's not very impressive. 0-7 with a 7.81 ERA.
Well, was that his first chance in the big leagues, and will somebody else give him a chance? It doesn't mean because he got that first time was not very good that he can't come back and put it together. We're seeing him here. He looks like he's a pretty good fastball. He's shown an excellent curve.
He's only 24.
He's 24 years old. Wow.
And as you mentioned, a big
How
guy.
could you give up on him?
6'5", 220. Interesting that they gave up on him. He was 6-7 with Louisville with a 4.74 earned run average.
They waived him, man. It wasn't a trade.
Claimed off of waivers. In fact, Rico, he was part of the New York Yankee organization. He was part of that deal with Drew Henson and that whole business back in July of 2000. Sanchez spoils that one. It's 1 and 2. Sanchez was a strikeout victim in the first. There's that protective guard on his elbow. Clears it out. Little ground ball to short. He's going to have a hit. Infield hit for Freddie Sanchez. We'll have to wait for the official score, but I think he was going to beat it out anyway.
It looked like he was. Once the third baseman couldn't get it, as we see here, it goes under the third baseman's glove. He just muscles this ball and just pushes his hands out there. Yeah, that ball is right in the hole. Had the shortstop caught it, if he catches it, I don't think he throws him out.
So he has himself a hit. in terms of wondering how old he is. He's 23. He'll be 24 in December, so he's not too far away.
No. But it's usually good to get AAA experience. You got Hillenbrand, who's an exception.
We also watched Wilton Veras when he made that jump to the Red Sox. He made the jump directly from AA, but that doesn't seem to happen very often. Casey Foster, actually, who's now obviously playing AAA. Jeff Abbott reached on an error his first time up. And 0. Real big crowd tonight here at McCoy Stadium. They're giving away Rico Petrocelli posters or something tonight.
I was going to say they were all waiting to see if you were going to come in.
The Rico bobblehead doll.
Yeah.
I have to say for the record, by the way, because I know all the folks back at the studio and Jim Corsi, they were all saying, "Oh, you're going to get there on time." I didn't speed. Didn't break any laws along the way, and I was here at 7:15. I was here at 7:15. I could have come on, but you know, Andy was so gracious to help us out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I figured you might hit some traffic coming out of Boston.
Well, of course he was going to let me use his helicopter, but he wanted to drive it, and so I was like, no, I'll drive it. 3-1 pitch. Walked him. First walk issued by Reith.
Reith against Abbott looked like he really struggled throwing the ball, not just strikes, but just throwing the ball. Then I watched a close-up there. He's sweating profusely. And it's only the third inning.
And it's not very warm out. In fact, it even has a little bit of a chill in the air tonight.
I know he's a big man, but we'll see how he goes along. See if he continues to throw as well as he has been so far.
Todd Betts had a base hit in the first. Well, does he face some pressure joining a new team, trying to impress his new teammates?
Well, I think he wants to do well, yeah.
Ground ball to short to the backhand. Doster across the diamond won't be able to make the play. And the Paw Sox have their second infield hit of the inning, and they have the bases loaded with 1 out.
Yeah, you're using the old strategy, the infield hit strategy here. Hits it off the end of the bat, but places it in the perfect spot here. The shortstop with the momentum going towards third really can't get much on the ball. Can't get throw as accurate as he would like to. See, he throws off the base, and everybody's safe.
I thought maybe he'd try for the force out at third base with his momentum going that way. It was going to be a bang-bang play.
Yeah, once you know to do that, you got to make up your mind right away as soon as that ball's hit. And the way you do it is you think about it beforehand, all the different options. In case the ball's hit here, where am I going?
He's been a magnet in this game so far. A lot of balls hit to shortstop tonight. And the bases are loaded. The Paw Sox they haven't had the ball out of the infield here in the third inning, but the bases are loaded with 1 out for Shane Andrews.
Well, that's the strategy. Keep it in the infield and score 10 runs.
However you do it.
That's right.
Andrews fly to left with 2 on in the first. An RBI opportunity here.
Ouch. Boy, that's his pitch right there. He must have been thinking away.
A little bit of a grimace from Andrews. As he passes up on that pitch, it's 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
Yeah, Reith is just that big, I mentioned 6'5", 220, big lumbering type pitcher. You know, he looks like he's struggling out there, but that's his style.
He was a 6th-round draft pick for the Yankees in '96. The 2-1 pitch to Andrews. Rip foul, 2-2.
Well, Andrews got 2 pitches in his zone to hit most at bat. Now every time they went inside, like that pitch, that was an inside strike, and he fouled it off. They've gone outside. So he's got 1 pitch here to play with.
Sanchez, the runner, on third. Jeff Abbott's on second. Todd Betts is on first. The 2-2 pitch just misses. 3-2. Tough pitch to lay off of with the bases loaded and 2 strikes.
You're not kidding. This ball just missed. It's a tailing fastball, but it could have gone either way.
And it did miss. There's no question. Good call by the home plate umpire. The 3-2. Gets him out in front, struck him out.
Threw a breaking ball there and just off speed enough to get Andrews. See that? It's a slider. Just enough off. See how he's off balance a little bit, a little out in front. Well, that's sometimes you got to tip your hat to the pitcher because you're looking dead fastball there. 3-2, bases loaded.
And that will give Wilton Veras an RBI opportunity with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Veras doubled his first time up in his return to the Paw Sox. On the corner, 1-1.
Right on the black, as they say. There's a little going around home plate with a strip of black rubber. And the ball just goes right past that area.
Up the middle, through into center field for a hit. 1 run will score. Here comes Abbott. He will score. And the Paw Sox lead it 2-0. Wilton Veras 2 for 2.
Well, great job of hitting by Wilton. Took the ball right up the middle, hit it hard enough so the second baseman couldn't get it. Even on the dive, gets himself a couple of RBIs, helps his ball club. What a difference, huh? These 2 at bats.
I like what I see, Rico.
Yeah, look at him. He's, you know, you're right. His hands are a little different, but he shoots the ball up the middle, which when he goes that way, that's when he hits best. But he had something on the ball. I mean, in order to get it through the infield.
Here is Angel Santos. 2 runs home, 2 outs, runners on the corner. Santos lifted a foul pop his first time up in the second.
You know who Santos reminds me of? We've seen a lot of games now.
All right, let me think.
No, a right-handed hitter who used to be with the Red Sox. Is a small guy, but has a big swing.
Donnie Sadler?
Jeez. Yeah, his initials are DS.
Responsible for a few of those gray hairs on top of your head?
A few of them. Ken Maka, too, boy. We spend more hours batting practice with him.
Ken Maka didn't have a single gray hair on his head when he began managing Donnie Sadler.
Donnie's really a good kid. He just couldn't do it. He could not do it. Level his swing off, hit down a little bit more on the ball. Like a big, you know, power hitter type swing, and it just didn't work.
Good count to hit for Santos. Backs him off the plate. It's 3-1. Really a hitter's count now, with Cornell Stenson waiting on deck.
That's a real clutch hit by Veras. 2 outs. After the strikeout by Andrews, he came back in the clutch and picked him up.
You're right. Big swing from Santos.
Yeah, I mean he's not a real big guy. I mean he's a little infielder and he'll hit a few home runs, but
Scranton bullpen is starting to scramble now out there in right field. We'll see if somebody's going to begin to warm. It's only the third inning, but the Paw Sox do have 5 hits. They have 2 runs on the board. 3-2 pitch. Veras will get the head start. He does. That pitch is popped up on the infield. Let's see who will get it. Second baseman takes charge. Knupfer has it, and that will retire the side. But the Paw Sox do score 2 on the 2-run, 2-out single off the bat of Wilton Veras. We go to the 4th. It's 2-0 Pawtucket.
Top of the 4th inning, 2-0 the Paw Sox. Wilton Veras, big base hit with the bases loaded. Well, stay tuned as NESN remembers the kid with complete television coverage of Monday's special Fenway Park event, Ted Williams' celebration of an American hero. NESN will televise the entire evening, starting with studio coverage Monday at 5, only on NESN. I'll be there for that one.
And there is Chase Wheeler. That is our director's son.
Which one?
And his friend Caleb. On the
With
left
the Red
is
Sox?
Chase.
Oh, yeah. Gee, looks
Got
like
a
his
ball.
dad,
Did you get him
huh?
the ball?
Oh, Chase?
How do you get the ball?
I don't know. I think he
Oh.
went down and took it out of the dugout.
He must have connections. But Rico, that event on Monday really should be something special at Fenway Park. I know you're going to be a part of it, and we're looking forward to bringing it to the Red Sox fans on NESN. And it's going to be, we're going to bring the pre-event ceremonies to everybody, and then we're going to stay after the event. And I'm sure you and many of the participants will be able to join us to talk about it a little bit. It really should be something, a nice way to honor somebody who was not just a great baseball player, but as the promo copy says, an American hero. P.J. Forbes grounds out, and that's a good way to start the inning for Sonny Kim.
Well, there's a little bobble there by Freddie Sanchez, but he really made up with it. Made up for that bobble with the throw. He's got a gun. Watch this now. He's right there. And now he lets it go. And geez, even in slow motion, that thing was fast.
You see the look on his face, too?
Yeah.
I'm not getting an error. Here is Chase Utley. Utley out in front.
Yeah, Bob, you're right. I look forward to honoring Ted Williams, the man, Ted Williams, the ball player. And nothing else. Talk about nothing else. Whatever else is going on. I mean, he was just a tremendous person.
Well, I think we all hope that by Monday everything will be, I'm not sure that it will be, but it would be nice if all of these other issues are resolved. It's such a shame to see all of this happen, because he didn't even want to have a funeral service because he didn't want this kind of attention. And now is it not just attention here in Boston, but it's nationally. Everybody's talking about it. Unfortunately, the butt of jokes on Letterman and Leno and all of the talk shows. It's just such a shame.
Really, it's sad. And you know, this last week I've been on a couple of shows, been asked that same question, you know, about what's going on, and you know, it's hard to try to figure it out, really. But you know, in my thoughts, I remember Ted when I was a kid coming to my first big league camp, and never forget it.
This time Sanchez handles it cleanly, and there are 2 outs. He made quite an impression on you the first time you met him.
First time I met him, I was 18 years old, went to the big league camp, and after a couple of days, here comes Ted Williams, and of course I saw him play as a kid, Yankee Stadium, and he was just that big voice, you know, and just, hey, how you doing? You know, when he'd say hello to somebody, it was just, well, the young guy was like, who's that? Is that Ted Williams? You know, we got to meet him, and he took a look, of course, the first thing at everybody's swing, and he would tell guys, don't let anybody change your swing. You got a great swing. Don't let anybody change it. He was really so optimistic. And then he'd get us together and start talking about, you know, what to look for. And
He loved to talk.
oh, he loved it. He loved it. I mean, he got so enthusiastic. It was like he was pumped up, you know. But you know, it was interesting talking to him, because the first thing I wanted to know is, do you guess? You know, what do you do with the guys who can get 3 pitches over?
What did he say? That's the first hit of the night for Scranton. As Doster sends it down the right field line, he'll take the turn. He'll hold as Abbott gets it back in quickly. Well, what did he say, Rico?
Well, he said, yeah. He said when you first start out, the best thing to do is look for fastball, hit off the fastball. But once you get to know the pitchers, like right there, see, it's a good example. He gets the fastball and he goes the opposite way. It's a fastball away. Well, that's what Ted Williams would tell hitters. He was a dead pull hitter, and he would tell everybody, go up the middle. Go up the middle. When you're in a slump, think up the middle. Get a good pitch to hit. And he made it simple, you know, even though it was tough at times. But he loved to talk hitting.
I was very fortunate, Rico, as a kid to attend his baseball camp every summer in Lakeville. That ball is popped up. We'll talk about that more as we continue. Short center field. Rob Ryan is there. This time it's an easy catch, and that will retire the side. So Scranton gets their first hit, but they leave him stranded. We've played 3.5 here at McCoy Stadium in Pawtucket. The Paw Sox lead it 2-0. Back at McCoy Stadium, the Paw Sox lead it 2-0. Both of the runs for the Paw Sox coming in on a 2-run, 2-out single in the third off the bat of Wilton Veras. Are you kidding me? You're putting the window down. You're that cold.
Not for me, no.
You're that cold. Don't touch my window.
It sounds like that's my arm or is it the window?
Do you need help with this? Do you need help with this?
Yeah, you know.
There you go. But
Well,
I'm not.
Is it making a loud noise?
I'm keeping my window open.
That wasn't the window. That was my arms, my shoulders. Two rotator
Tough to get hold, huh?
Oh, hey, that wasn't fair. That shot. Oh boy.
And you can see the Paw Sox honoring Ted Williams with the number 9 on the uniforms. But Rico, I had the pleasure of going to Ted Williams camp in Lakeville every summer, and to be truthful, he didn't usually show up very often. Although one summer he did, and it was quite an experience. My good friend, who's one of my assistant coaches in baseball, John Rice, he actually got a hitting lesson from Ted Williams. He called the kid up and happened to be John, and John got the hitting lesson.
Wow, that's great.
We all cursed, you know, everybody curses him for the fact to get the hitting lesson.
You all hate him now, right?
But it was always interesting, and I had the pleasure, obviously, later in my career and broadcasting career, to talk hitting with him. And if you wanted to talk hitting with him, he would talk about it with anybody. He really would, because he just enjoyed talking about it.
I wrote a letter to him right after that first year in camp, and he wrote a letter back. I still have it. I cherish it, and it was just absolutely fantastic. And again, encouraging. You know, don't change your swing, and you know, you said you have a good future. It was just a thrill.
See, I'm impressed with that, because you tell the story that so many players, we hear them tell this story about how Ted Williams took a young player, and to you that meant quite a bit to hear from a legend talking to you. Rico, Dick Raditz talks about the first time he met Ted Williams, and the story that Dick tells is Ted Williams meeting him for the first time and asking him where he's going to have dinner, and Williams says, you're going to have it with me tonight. How about that? I mean,
that's great.
So I'm interested in hearing all of these stories that people will tell, I'm sure, on Monday night. You better come up with a couple of good stories.
I got another one, so I'm not going to tell it now. I'll tell it Monday night. Is that what we're doing?
I don't know, but I'm just saying that you better come up with some good ones.
Oh yeah. You know,
I don't think my story of watching him walk by a camp is going to be much of a story.
This is you're gonna get all over me for this. You and some of those other media guys who are on the radio station. When it comes to old time, Rudy York.
Okay.
He was my coach in Double-A ball. So, you know, I mean, Rudy had some great years. He was one of the old timers, but he told us stories about Ted. Were fantastic. We'd stay there for, an hour at a time. Great. So he's with Detroit.
Runner goes. Paw Sox will stay out of the double play. Doster makes the play across the diamond, but by sending Stenson, Buddy Bailey avoids the double play.
Yeah, outstanding. Staying away from the double play. Now you got the man in scoring position, 1 out. So we got a couple of shots added here. So Stenson goes, and that ball was headed up the middle. He had the right idea. Maybe a hit and run there. But it was right at the shortstop. But he gets the guy over. See, he does the job. Even though he made the out, he still does the job. He gets the guy in scoring position.
And back to the top of the order we go. It's Rob Ryan, who's had a tough night at the plate so far, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, but he has the key defensive play of the ball game, a tremendous catch in center field.
Rudy York told us about Ted Williams. He was at Detroit because he hit so great in Detroit that when his first couple of years up, after a while they started saying, hey, let's see if this kid can hit on his back. They knocked him down. They knocked him down. They thought, you know, want to see what he could do. And he said, first time, Virgil Trucks, or one of those guys that threw, you know, 99 miles an hour and that heavy ball, knocked him right on his rear end. And Williams gets up, wipes himself off the next pitch. Right center field, upper deck.
No doubt.
He said they said, don't wake him up anymore. Whoa.
That's
Leave
not
him
a good
alone.
strategy.
Walk him. He never let that bother him.
Well, for so many of us, Rico, that are much younger than you. Oh. Anita?
That'll teach you. That'll teach you to say I'm old.
Well, I wasn't going to say that you were old. We have the audio problems again in the booth.
Yeah.
But that was like divine intervention or something.
It's
as soon
exactly
as I
what
tried to
it
make
was.
that comment. No, I was going to say, here's a disadvantage of being so much younger than you. I mean, I'm much, much, much younger than you. I never had.
Watch out. Lightning is going to strike.
I never had the pleasure of watching Ted Williams hit in person. And that's so many people of my generation. We just hear the stories and watch the tape. But it must have been such a privilege to watch him hit. I mean, for guys that love baseball, to see the greatest hitter of all time.
Yeah, I saw him in Yankee Stadium a lot. We used to go and see Boston all the time and watch him hit there. I'll tell you, the one guy he had problems with was Whitey Ford. Whitey Ford hit like 200, 250, 220 off Ford, but he made up for it with everyone else.
Pitch poured in for a strike. It's 1-2. I don't know what's going on with the audio tonight, Rico, but you're probably right. The fellow was just going to kid you a little bit about our age differential, but
That's okay.
But no, but I've always thought that, watching him and hearing the stories. Now, for me, I saw Carter Yastrzemski play, and the kids that I get to coach now, they didn't get a chance to see Yaz play. That's just the way it is. As you move up the line, eventually somebody's going to say, I didn't get a chance to see Barry Bonds play, or some of these other great players along the way.
Sure. You look at Sosa and Bonds.
Would you compare anybody to Ted Williams of today? I mean, is there anybody that you would compare it to him?
No, because Ted was a pull hitter, and nowadays, I don't know of anybody that's a dead pull hitter. I mean, majority of the balls may be to one side. Maybe Bonds is pretty much of a pull hitter, but I don't think all his career is that way. But Ted was that way from day one. So if he went the other way, he would have hit 400 every year.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Freddie Sanchez. Do you even know what Rob Ryan did? Because that's when our ears were blown off. Again, spoiled. Now, the last time that our ears were blown off like that, you were ready to have a heart attack. This time you were laughing. You enjoyed it because you thought it was getting back at me for kidding.
Exactly what happened. But actually, my ears are cleared out now. I can hear pretty good.
You can hear again. I can hear, but I can't see now.
Yeah.
2-2. Ground ball left side. Doster to the backhand. Across the diamond. Good strong throw gets him. Fine defensive play by David Doster, and that will retire the side. So the Paw Sox leave a man. We have played 4. It's 2-0. The Paw Sox have the lead. Back at McCoy Stadium on just a beautiful night for baseball here in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. The Paw Sox with a 2-0 lead. And if you would like to come out and watch your Paw Sox in action, Great seats still available. You can get your tickets at McCoy Stadium box office or by calling 401-724-7300 or log on at pawsox.com. And of course, as we mentioned, really some fine young players to keep an eye on now, with Freddie Sanchez getting the call. Wilton Veras is back up. Sonny Kim and Casey Fossum pitching for the Paw Sox. So far tonight, Sonny Kim has been impressive. He's given up just one hit through his first 4 innings of work. Marlon Byrd, Johnny Estrada, Bruce Avon. Can walk Byrd back in the second, but he strikes him out here.
See that good breaking ball right there. Starts out about waist high and then just drops off the table.
That will bring up the catcher, Johnny Estrada. He grounded to second his first time up. Any truth to the rumor that he came to the ballpark tonight on a motorcycle? Is he related
Estrada?
to Eric Estrada?
I think so. I think, as a matter of fact, I think it's his nephew.
Eric, you have no idea who Eric Estrada is, do you?
Yeah, I know him as the motorcycle guy.
Oh, you're a motorcycle guy with?
Yeah, Spanish guy with the other guy, with the other.
With the other guy.
With the other.
You're so specific. You could.
Well, I don't remember the names.
You could win on the weakest link. I could just see you giving the answer. You'd be like the other guy with the hands and the hair. Down the line and right, and that ball just is foul. What was the name of the show? Let me get the Jeopardy theme music going.
Yeah. Give me a couple of innings. No, it was
no help from the truck either.
San Diego.
You're close.
San Diego Cyclers, wasn't it?
You're so close.
No, they were police officers. Oh boy. Harley Davidson.
He's getting more feedback again, apparently.
Yeah.
He's
Chaps.
He just fell off his seat. It was Chips. Driven in the air to right center field. Rob Ryan is over. He has it for the second out of the inning. You know what, though? Your wife, it's going to be very peaceful at the Petrocelli household, because when your wife is yelling at you about not eating the cookies and the ice cream, you won't be hearing her.
Well,
so it won't matter.
I won't be hearing anything, though.
I know, that's okay. Here's the DH. Bruce Avon, fly, well, a little pop-up in the infield his first time up back in the third. Checks his swing, holds up. It's 1-1.
I can't remember Sonny Kim working this fast. Big leagues and minor leagues.
Now, if Bruce Avon hits the ball, I'll tell you what, he should be out. Avon should be out if he hits the ball, because he is clearly out of the box. Watch his back foot. You can get a shot of his back foot. He is so far out of the batter's box. Tough angle right there to see, but he's a good foot out of the batter's box. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Well, if the umpire lets it go, or if there's no challenge to it, I'll Carl Everett. And I can't say anything.
Three and two. Time is called by the home plate umpire. There's the 3-2. Checks his swing. Draws ball 4. Second walk of the game issued by Sonny Kim.
Interesting. That was seemed like an off-speed pitch sometime. 3-2. Of course, he didn't get the pitch before. He was unhappy about that fastball on the outside part of the plate. And don't know why he went to the off-speed pitch. 2 runs ahead.
Brings the tying run to the plate in first baseman J.P. Roberge. Ground ball to Veras. Waits on it, throws across the diamond, shows off that good strong arm, and that will retire the side. So the 2-out walk does not hurt. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Paw Sox still holding the 2-0 lead.
Pawtucket Red Sox still ahead in this ball game as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 2-0 score as we see some of the kids enjoying the game at McCoy. Well, NESN is your ticket to Pawtucket Red Sox baseball. Join us Monday, July 29th, as the Paw Sox play host to the Montreal Expos AAA affiliate, the Ottawa Lynx. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock, only on NESN.
Hey, do the Expos have any more minor leaguers? They've been giving them away in all these big trades they've been making.
Sure.
Yes,
The commissioner owns them. They don't care.
big crowds tonight at McCoy on Rico Petrocelli bobblehead doll night.
What's that? The number 1?
That's because you're here.
This phone, look at it. See? How come girls always have rhythm, guys don't? Well, I mean, what is this? It was Jeff Geary. Right-handers 1 and 2, 3.88 earned run average, 24 games. This is 2015 now. He only has 1 save, so he hasn't been used in a closer's situation very much.
In fact, Jeff Geary has not pitched too much in relief overall. Well, actually, yeah, he has. He's started 6 games out of the 24 that he's pitched. Opponent's hitting .289 against him.
When somebody goes up to the big leagues, a pitcher or down, if they throw him in there when the guy's spot is open. Spot reliever. Spot starter, I should say.
They're saying they don't tell us too much about him, though. They're trying to learn a little something about him. A little stingy with information. They basically have his name. Paw Sox would like to add to this 2-0 lead here in the 5th inning. It is the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Jeff Abbott, Todd Betts, Shane Andrews. Abbott walked and scored in the 3rd. So I know you, aside from being a broadcaster and media mogul, that every radio station I turn on, I hear you talking, and
I know.
you know, you're out there. But I'm saying, aside from that, you also have the novelties and the shirts and the pens and the golf balls and all the things
Apparel,
that you can get at PetrocelliSports.com.
Yeah.
Can you get if I were to pay, could I get a Rico Petrocelli bobblehead doll? I mean, if I were willing to pay like the $2.
Well, they don't have one.
No, I'm saying, could we get one?
No.
Because it would be a scary looking thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah.
I don't know what would be scarier looking, a Bob Rogers bobblehead doll or a Rico Petrocelli bobblehead doll.
Well, I'll tell you. Where were we? Was here last year? We got Nomar.
The Nomar.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we also had the Nomar little Paw Sox bears, but we were wondering if it was going to look like him, and it just had his jersey on.
Yeah, right.
The beanbag buddy. Second base. Knupfer makes the play, and Abbott is retired.
Well, the Paw Sox have been tired, kind of little, not tired, but silenced since that 2 runs in the 3rd inning.
Well, they got 4 innings out of the starter, Brian Reith. He went 4, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. In his Scranton-Wilkes Barre debut. Well, the Paw Sox are playing a quality team at 61 and 33. The Barons have the best record in all of AAA baseball.
Have you ever been to Scranton, that ballpark?
You know, I believe I have. I was trying to think of that. Is that the field that has artificial turf in the outfield and grass on the infield?
No. It has all artificial.
It's all artificial
It's like,
turf.
you know, Philadelphia.
No, I had not been there yet.
I tell you, it's a very nice park in the Appalachian, in Scranton, of course, kind of in the mountains. They have a mascot here, like the Philly fanatic. This guy was great. I don't know if he's still there. I thought the Philly fanatic. No, Scranton-Wilkes Barre. Wait,
I love when
start that over.
ground ball to second base, and Nupfer had it again, and lost it again, and that will cost him an error.
He was listening to us. See?
He got about as confused as we did. Todd Betts reaches on the error.
Right here, he waits for the ball.
He panics.
It looked like he did. The ball hit the heel of his glove, and he looked like he was in a decent position right here. You see, he just tried to stop it, and now he couldn't come up with the ball. If he did, if he came up with it, he might have thrown the run around. Might have.
Give that man an error, and that will bring up Shane Andrews. So you like the mascot?
Well, you know, in Philadelphia, the Philly fanatic is one of the best mascots in all baseball. Good as the chicken.
You're a mascot guy, then. You like the mascot?
No, this guy was great. I love this guy.
What about Wally?
No, Wally didn't compare. I'm sorry.
Oh boy,
Wally might belt me, but
it's funny. Wally's really catching on, though. You know, you watch him at Fenway Park, and the fans at the beginning when they first brought him out. You remember the controversy? Everybody, you can't have that at Fenway Park.
Well, right. Traditionalists. You know. But this guy rides the four-wheeler.
Does he look like the Philly fanatic?
Yeah, almost exactly like. Just a little different.
Are they related? Are they related?
Well, it could be because it's a AAA team of the Phillies.
Now I wonder if he gets called up to the big leagues on occasion. You know, if the fanatic might go on the DL or something, you call him up to spell him for a bit.
Wait a minute! Don't laugh. It's happened.
Wait a second. I think isn't that the wife of the Philly fanatic? Is it a female mascot?
No, it's a male. It's a male.
How you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah. Well, we've seen him take off his head.
Let's change the subject.
What? There's nothing wrong with that.
2 balls and a strike. Well, these are the Scranton-Wilkes Barre Red Barons, so I don't know if they'd have a mascot that would be a Red Baron flying and playing around the field.
No, they took after Philly, you know, their parent team. And so the mascot there is very, very close to that same type of costume.
2-2 pitch, high and up, and away.
I know we're in a game, but you know all those things that we're talking about are part of baseball. You know, the mascots, right?
Absolutely.
The ballparks,
the food.
Yeah, that's right.
No doubt, I agree.
Really,
with you.
the luxury box. This field is beautiful.
This is one of the nicest ballparks in
Baseball.
minor league baseball. Actually, I guess you're right. In any place in baseball, just a wonderful place to watch a baseball game on a summer's night. There are some nice parks around the International League. I like Buffalo. Buffalo's a nice park. The runner goes, and that ball is lofted foul. Long run for the first baseman, and unless he's going to jump into the barbecue pit, he won't have it.
There are some guys that would.
Just think about it, Rico. How long you've been around baseball? How many innings you've seen?
Look at the national anthems. Boy, I've heard a lot of national anthems.
A lot of hot dogs. Again, the runner goes, and it's ball 4. The Paw Sox have something going here in the bottom of the 5th.
Third baseman, number 38, Wilton Barron.
Boy, hits a low fastball. His first at bat. Wilton Barron lines a ball up to the gap, and this one's up the middle with a couple of men on base. He drives in 2 runs here. The 2 runs that the Pawtucket Red Sox have. Well, he's been the man tonight.
I know you were commenting about hitting the ball up the middle and the other way, but I was wondering if maybe he'd pull the ball a little bit more than he did before he went down to Trenton. He didn't seem to pull the ball very much the last several times I had watched him play.
I don't remember him ever really pulling the ball a lot. he'll hit a few home runs. I mean, there's home runs that are hit usually.
How about the hands
left
right there,
field.
Rico? Those.
Yeah, they're higher. Yeah, he's got a little different. They might have watched videos of him hitting an A ball, or even in the Gulf Coast League, which they do. They keep videos throughout the guy's career.
Halfway home of the cycle. Single and a double. 2 for 2. He has the 2 runs batted in that are on the scoreboard now. It's 2-0 Pawtucket. Boston Red Sox were winners this afternoon in Detroit, 9-4. Manny Ramirez with a home run, and Trot Nixon with a grand slam.
I thought Daubach's ball was going to go out. The other one that hit right on the top of the wall.
One-two pitch to Veras. Just misses. 2-2. Here's a 2-2. Outside ball 3. 3-2.
We just saw a close-up of Veras' face. You could see the difference in his face, the confidence that he has right now.
You send the base runners, Rico?
Yeah.
Up the middle, through into center field for a hit. Buddy Bailey will wave around Todd Batts. He's in to score. The Paw Sox lead it 3-0. Wilton Veras 3 for 3 and 3 RBI. Now you said it. Look at confidence, and he comes through.
You can see the difference in his face. I mean, just went down to double-A ball. As you see the pitch here, he takes it right up the middle, knocks in another run. Well, he hit over 300, well over 300, wasn't it, in a double-A ball? Went back down. It got straightened out. Looks good. I know it's only one night, but still, he's swinging the bat a lot better. So it's a good sign.
Welcome back to Pawtucket. 3 for 3. This could be 2. Ground ball to second. On to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. So the Paw Sox hit into the inning-ending double play. Angel Santos into the 4-6-3 DP, but the Paw Sox add one more. And after 5 full, they lead it 3-0.
Well, we go to the top of the 6th inning, and it's Wilton Veras night tonight. Wilton Veras, coming back from double-A ball, has knocked in all 3 Paw Sox runs in this ball game. Well, the first 4,000 fans coming to McCoy to see the Paw Sox battle the Scranton-Red Barons this Wednesday at 7:05 p.m. will receive a Paw Sox cap. This quality cotton red cap features a patriotic P Paw Sox logo. You can get your cap on Wednesday night, compliments of the Rhode Island Lottery and CBS 12.
Wow, we were 1 night off. We were 1 night off. We would have had our caps.
Yeah, maybe they'll save us one.
So far, a pleasant night for the Paw Sox. They lead it 3-0. Sonny Kim has been in command. He's allowed just 1 hit through the first 5 innings. And back to the top of the order we go. Second baseman Jason Knupfer, and then P.J. Forbes and Chase Utley. Red Barons, by the way, are managed by Mark Bombard, who was the brother of Pawtucket Red Sox pitching coach Rich Bombard. Showing bunt right back to the mound. Sonny Kim has an easy play. He makes it 1 out. Well, they have not had much success against Sonny Kim, so that's not a bad effort to try to bunt your way on. There he is. Mark Bombard, the manager of the Scranton-Wilkes Barre Red Barons, brother of Pawtucket Red Sox pitching coach Rich Bombard. Here
Who's
he is.
older? Who's older? Who do you think?
I would say Mark is older, but let's figure it out.
I know what you're gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
By the way he looks older.
No,
Looks
because he's.
old.
I
Here you
don't
go
know.
with the old again.
No, I would just think that he's a manager now. He's been a manager since 1997 with Scranton-Wilkes Barre. And your ice cream has arrived.
Not
Rico.
mine.
Oh, that's your
That's
ice
for
cream,
you.
buddy. That's your ice cream. Mark Bombard began managing minor league baseball back in 1982 in Billings. And he's had many stops along the way. Tampa, Cedar Rapids, El Paso, Harrisburg, Carolina, Buffalo, Indianapolis, from Scranton into right field. Jeff Abbott has it. I can hear it on the headset. You're telling me you're not eating the ice cream? Nope, everybody at home knows you're eating it. We can hear it.
No, I'm not. I'm reading
Your
it.
wife can hear it. We all know it.
I'm reading the. Look at this. What it has in.
You could not be a secret agent. You couldn't be.
I'm very quiet. Tippy toe.
Tippy toe. The only problem if you were like 007 would be if there was like an ice cream tray or a cookie tray. Then your whole cover would be blown.
Oh, he's throwing. He's throwing hard.
Chase Utley is 0 for 2.
I think his maximum is like 92, maybe even 93. Is that changeup?
We will hear from Red Sox manager Grady Little a little bit later about Dustin Hermanson, who will pitch later in the ball game. Swing and a miss. 2-2. But Sonny Kim is pitching so well. Dustin Hermanson, well, they're going to pitch him regardless, but Sonny Kim really has been in command.
Well, I think the key to watching him tonight is location, because not to take anything away from any of the guys in the AAA or lower minors, but will big league hitters hit pitches in certain areas that he's thrown tonight? And the answer is yes. All right, to be honest. But when he's down, when he throws a good changeup or a good breaking ball, he'll get big league hitters out.
Two quick outs here in the sixth. The 3-2 pitch lifted in the air into right center field. Jeff Abbott, Rob Ryan converge, and Ryan takes control, and he has it for the final out of the inning. So another 1-2-3 inning for Sonny Kim. We have played 5 1/2. It's 3-0 Pawtucket.
Bottom of the sixth inning, 3-0 Paw Sox. Sonny Kim pitching a shutout so far in this ball game. Well, Japan, land of the rising sun and the sinking fastball. America's pastime rules in Japan, and NESN gets you a front row seat for diamonds in the Far East, baseball in Japan. A 1-hour front row special tomorrow night after Red Sox baseball on NESN.
Enrico, I watched that show. All I can say is, wow, what a tremendous
Good, huh?
job the folks on Front Row did putting that together.
It's pretty good. They went all the way to Japan.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. It was really, and they talked to a lot of players that had Boston connections.
Japanese players? Or
Well, a lot of, Lou
Americans?
Maloney and Willie Banks, and just really nice. Guys having some fun. I wonder what he's saying.
Bottom of the sixth inning, 3-0. Who is that? Let's see. Oh, they got the TV there.
Little play-by-play action.
Yeah. That's good. The hitters can. Some of the hitters can watch their teammates hit. See that center field shot.
8-9-1. Darnell Stenson, Kevin Brown, Rob Ryan against Jeff Gary. Stenson, little lob in a right center field. That will fall for a hit. Leadoff man aboard here in the 6th inning for the Paw Sox.
Well, it's always good to get a base hit no matter what. He might have got jammed a little bit on that pitch, but once it falls in safely, you feel pretty good about it.
Shaking his head over there at first base, kind of like what you were just saying. Didn't get a good piece of wood on it, but it works.
You could hit a line drive, you know, your best shot right at someone.
Yeah, it all evens up.
Yeah.
That one right at somebody, and that's going to be no, not a double play because J.P. Roberge cannot hang on. Well struck by Kevin Brown on cue, Rico. You talk about that, and comes through for you.
Yeah, hit the shot right at the shortstop. Line drive. Almost gets the double play there, but Stenson, I think Stenson went straight in.
Yeah. Just
about straight into the bag, and they got in his way a little bit, but there it is. You know, you go back to the bench. Hey, hang with it. You know, nice swing, Kevin. What are you going to do?
Yeah, the throw from Doster kind of right into the base runner made it tough for the first baseman to make the play. Back to the top of the order, Rob Ryan. 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and an infield pop-up. Well, what do we hear again? What do we hear again? It's help me out. Is it next Monday?
Monday, yes.
Well, that game is on TV. I want somebody to come up with a sign of what a Rico Petrocelli bobblehead doll would look like. Come on.
No, I don't like that signs. I don't go for that. I'm serious.
I want to see what a Rico Petrocelli bobblehead doll would be.
Yeah, we couldn't do it in a sign. Isn't that that's the one that head back goes back and
Take
forth,
some
right?
creativity.
Yeah, no.
Little paper mache
Please don't.
action. Little
Please
paper
don't.
mache action. Ooh. Down the line and right, way back towards the wall, and gone, a home run for Rob Ryan. Well, have a night, Mr. Ryan. Tremendous catch in center field, and now a 2-run home run here in the 6th. It's 5-0 Pawtucket.
Turned on that pitch, got the fastball. Nice short stroke. Didn't have to hit it too far over the fence, just enough for the home run. Nice. Well, that really helps out there because this is a very good Scranton team. It might have been even a changeup, but not a home run hitter. But this one, he got full distance out of it.
Earlier, you were talking about what would be the chances of hitting a home run right after the hit. And I said, well, he only has 2, so it's not likely. But he hit a home run in the game that he had to catch.
Yeah.
Here is Freddie Sanchez. 1 for 3 tonight in his AAA debut. Sanchez, as we mentioned, homered in the AA All-Star game. And he hit .328 with 23 doubles, 3 home runs, and 38 runs batted in with Trenton. In for a strike. And from May 15th through June 24th, he hit in 27 straight games. It was the longest hitting streak in the minor league since 2000.
Makes a pretty good cut. I was just looking at the roster here. They got him down as 5'11", 185. I didn't think he was that big, that heavy. I thought he was more around 170 pounds, but pretty good size. Middle infield.
Up the middle, Doster has it. Throws to first. 2 outs. I wonder if he was holding anything when they were weighing him. Because you're right, it does not look 185. Number 3 hitter, Jeff Abbott. been on base twice, reached on an error in the first, walked in the second, walked in the third and scored. Then he grounded out in the fifth. He's 1 for 2 officially. 0 for 2 officially.
He's shaking his head. I wonder what he's thinking. It's a ball. He took it.
Kind of a defensive swing. Doster charges the ball, makes the play, and that will retire the side. But the Paw Sox get 2 more on the 2-run tall jack off the bat of Rob Ryan. We have played 6 full at McCoy. It's 5-0. Back at McCoy Stadium, a beautiful rendition of God Bless America. Ringing through McCoy Stadium, and now the Paw Sox will take the field to get ready for the 7th inning in time to bring you our Dunkin' Donuts game summary. And so far, Sonny Kim has been in command for the Paw Sox on the hill, and some of the new guys helping out. We have the Pawtucket Red Sox with a 5-0 lead on Scranton. Sonny Kim going 6 innings, has allowed just the 1 hit so far. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Wilton Veras has had quite a night. 3 for 3, a double, 3 runs batted in. And Rob Ryan, aside from that 2-run home run, also has the catch of the night in center field. Great defensive play. Betts 2 for 3, a couple of singles, and the run scored. Our game summary brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. And there he is, Wilton Veras, who's had quite a night, quite a return. And I think, Rico, you said it well. It looks like he has a different look about him. On, you know, when he was here before, and we made the comment, it just didn't seem like he had any confidence left.
That's exactly right. And that's, you know, confidence is essential to be able to perform up to your capabilities. Yeah, with all that happened to him, and, you know, the last couple of years with the Sox and taking over for Valentin, the pressure's on him coming down here. Finally sent him to Double-A, relaxed, and he worked on his hitting, and he's back here now. He's, you know, right now at least he looks like a different guy. So we saw him like this before, so you know he could get back to this point, but they didn't know how.
Well, I'm wondering, Rico, does he have some value now in the trade market, considering the fact that he played so well at Double-A, and now seemingly his return here, he looks like he still has that eye of the tiger. Perhaps he'll draw some interest.
Yes. Yeah.
Little lover down to first base. And Todd Betts has it for the out. And just as advertised, Dustin Hermanson is beginning to warm up in the Pawtucket Red Sox bullpen. After the ball game tonight, or this afternoon on NESN, we had a chance to talk to Grady Little, and we asked him, you know, what would the plans be for Dustin? And Rico, he told us that there is a chance they may bring him to New York this weekend. That the thought that he'd pitched 3 times here in Pawtucket still is out there, but if he pitches well tonight and feels good, then they may bring him out. But they're playing it, taking it as a day-by-day situation. They've waited this long. They certainly don't want to have a setback, but he's telling everybody that he feels really strong.
Well, that's the main thing. You know, he knows how he feels, and if there's any twinge in the groin, you know, he wouldn't want to take a chance on re-injuring it or hurting his arm, for that matter. So he would stay down here. But if he's ready to go, I would think they'd take him up.
It's a stellar performance tonight from Sonny Kim, and there he is. Got him. Called 3rd strike on Eric Valent.
Nice curveball there. Even though it was down the middle, it just froze the hitter. Caught him off speed. Nice off-speed pitch. Couldn't pull the trigger.
He is really getting the ball and getting set to work. I'm surprised that, although now as I say it, Marlon Byrd is doing it. I was going to say I'm surprised that more Scranton players are not stepping out and trying to disrupt his timing, because Kim certainly wants to work much quicker than we've seen him in the past.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, he's watching him closely, and well, it's working.
Well, Scranton, for the most part, Rico, they're letting him.
Well, that's right. Yeah, you'll get teams eventually that they'll try to slow him down, step out of the box. So his timing, his rhythm,
And there we go. Bird is doing it. Getting back to Dustin Hermanson, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about him, but it's amazing to see the Red Sox lose the pitcher that they thought would be their number 2 or number 3 starter out of spring training for the entire first half of the season. And they're still right in the race.
Well, of course, they have some of the other people who have picked him up.
Absolutely.
But they can use him now. This time of the season, you get July, August, especially next month, when it's really the dog days.
Up the middle, through into center field for a hit. Just the second of the game for the Red Barons. So Marlon Byrd does take his time in the batter's box, and it pays dividends as he comes up with a single back up the middle.
Yeah, you got to give him credit. That's picking it up. Last time he struck out, he walked the first time, but he really hasn't looked good against Sun Kim. But that at bat, kind of a strategic thing that he worked.
Into left field. That may find the gap. Stenson is over, but he chases it down. Hung up there long enough. Too much air under that ball off the bat of Johnny Estrada, and Sonny Kim has tossed 7 shutout innings, and he is most likely done for the night. It is stretch time at McCoy. It's 5-0.
Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-0 for Pawtucket. It's a tough Scranton team. You see the fans enjoying this one. Well, prior to the Sunday, July 28th game versus Ottawa at McCoy, the Paw Sox will welcome back members of their 1977 International League pennant winning team for a reunion. Special pregame ceremonies will commemorate the 25th anniversary of that talented team. The last Paw Sox club to win the overall regular season International League pennant. Fans will also receive a souvenir keepsake saluting the 77 champs. So be sure to be at McCoy early before the 1:05 p.m. start on July 28th. As I'm reading that, I'm trying to think, who the heck were the guys on that team? Who the heck? I'm just trying to think of, was Barrett on that team?
No, I don't think so. Was Gary Hancock the MVP of that team?
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if Gary Hancock was on that team. Maybe Bill Wanless will get out of his seat and come down here. He sits down in that big refiner down the end, and he's got his feet up. New pitcher, Rico, for Scranton, Steve Woodard.
Yeah, Steve Woodard been in, let's see, he's pitched 14 innings, and he's given up only 10 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts, so it's pretty good stats right there. Big right-hander.
I'm trying to think of who some of those players could have been, Rico, on that team back in '77.
Boggs?
Boggs? I don't know if Boggs was at AAA yet by '77. Maybe. Dave Stapleton?
No, Stapleton, yeah, I think you're right. Listen, Hoffman wasn't there. Was he Hoffman still in that club?
We'll just make fools of ourselves with guesses. Bruce Hurst, wasn't that old. Was he at AAA yet? I think Gary Hancock was the MVP of the International League in '77 or '78.
Where's Bill Wanless? Bill.
He doesn't want to get out of the recliner. He's got his feet up, and he's getting a back rub, and they're fanning him down the end as well.
Yeah. You know the ice cream, too.
Paw Sox looking good tonight with a 5-0 lead. Dustin Hermanson continues to warm in the bullpen. We believe Sonny Kim is done, and Hermanson will pitch the final 2 innings. Todd Betts, Shane Andrews, Wilton Veras. Those were good times for Red Sox fans, with Paw Sox playing so well, and of course the Boston Red Sox had terrific teams to watch back in the 70s, 77, 78. I consider to be perhaps the top 3 teams of all time.
Absolutely, you look at the talent.
It's funny too, Rico. That's the benchmark for me too, 78, because compare so many teams to that, because that was a team I just cannot, you can't get it out of your mind, a team that was so good to come up just short. Now, I wasn't really, you know, you look, 1974 was kind of a similar situation. It was like a 5 or 6 game lead that they let kind of slip away.
Well, it's good to start off good, but a lot of times, you know, when everybody's just so hot at once, and many times what happens is that they all cool off at once. And when you have pitching, though, you have pitching, pretty good defense, strong up the middle, and enough hitting, you know, you can still win those games when you're not hitting. This Red Sox ball club's a pretty good club.
Yes. I think as far as pitching is concerned, I'm not sure if it's quite at the same level as Clemens, Hurst, and Oil Can Boyd, but it's pretty good when you have Pedro Martinez, Derek Lowe, and what John Burkett is doing. Burkett again today pitched very well down the line and left. Will it stay fair? No, it won't. It will just be a nice souvenir for the fans down there in left field. Andrews turned on that one.
Well, that's his power. He got that pitch in his zone, and he got great wood on it. Got under it.
Well, how do you think that pitching staff, the top 3, compares to '86?
I'd say it was the '86 staff. Yeah, it was not the staff, but those 3 were a little better.
1-2 pitch called, third strike on the corner. Andrews not happy with that call. Had a few words for the home plate umpire, then kind of grabbed at his bat. Let's watch the pitch.
Might have been looking outside. See, a lot of times if you're thinking outside, your zone hitting, you'll start that little movement with your body, especially your upper body, towards the outside corner. It's not, you know, it's a subtle movement. Slow, you're kind of leaning there, and all of a sudden he pops you inside, and you freeze. You know, you can't swing the bat.
The lob into right. Wilton Veras finally retired tonight for the first time. He was 3 for 3, but now he'll have to settle for 3 for 4. With plate 7 full, and the Pawtucket Red Sox have a 5-0 lead. Dustin Hermanson pitches next. Back at McCoy Stadium, the Paw Sox with a 5-0 lead. Sonny Kim, 7 strong innings, giving up just 2 hits. Well, on July 29th, the first 5,000 fans entering McCoy Stadium for the 7:05 game against Ottawa will receive a full-color poster of Manny Ramirez, of course, who just had a rehab stint with the Paw Sox. The Manny collage is courtesy of Western Union, Shaw's, Action Auto, WPMZ Radio, Providence Espanol, and Providence Sports, and ABC6. And I believe, Rico, we're going to be there on July 29th.
Yeah.
We can get that poster.
I don't want a poster of Manny. I want a poster of his earrings.
Oh, you just want his earrings.
Yeah.
Hey, here's Dustin Hermanson, and you can see his numbers: 203 games in the big leagues, and even 61 and 61 record.
Well, here's a guy, you know, who's rehabbing, who should be ready to go. He's had a pretty serious groin injury, and he's come back now. He's second half is very, very important. As we know, we go along into August and September, so they need all the good arms they can get, and he could throw. He's got a good fastball.
He worked so hard in the offseason to get ready for this year. He really increased his velocity a tremendous amount. He was throwing like 95 in spring training. Really increased the velocity. Everybody seemed to be really impressed with him. Confident. The little bit we saw against the Blue Jays that night, he looked good.
Yes. That's true. And then, you know, he made that follow through, and I guess that just popped.
Pitch in for a strike. It's 0-2. And so now Dustin Hermanson is slated to join the Boston Red Sox either in New York this weekend or then when the Red Sox return home for the next homestand. Either way, within the next week or so, he'll be pitching for the Boston Red Sox, and he'll be moved to the bullpen to start. And they'll try to utilize him there, and they could certainly use him right now in the bullpen.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you know.
This is the injury.
Ooh.
And just like
Boy, you
that,
can see it pop. Yeah.
just like that, his whole season changed.
That muscle is a little bit in the groin and towards a little down in the leg. And when that goes, you obviously can't stretch out at all. And if you're lucky, you can walk. He did walk off the field, but took him a long time to get back to where he is now.
Took a lot of mental discipline, too, to deal with this setback. It's tremendous adversity. You join a new organization. You want to be part of something that's been so much fun to this point, and he's had to watch it from the sidelines. But he's been at the ballpark on a daily basis, with the exception of his rehab work, wanting to be a part of this. And the first batter he faces draws the walk. And Bruce Avon leads off the 8th inning by reaching base.
Yeah, you know, certainly want to see him do well, but you're not going to worry too much about how he's his velocity or anything like that. Most important is his groin, that he doesn't re-injure it, and his arm. Once he gets going, the more he pitches, the better his control will be, certainly.
Here is J.P. Roberge. Kind of a fancy name, isn't it?
Roberge. Hockey. Roberge. R-O-B-E-R-G-E. J.P.
He's 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out and grounded out. By the way, I do have some information. Bill Wallace did not get out of the lazy boy, but he sent his assistant down to tell us that both Glenn Hoffman and Gary Allenson were invited. They were members of that team, but they cannot attend because they're obviously coaches right now in Major League Baseball. But some of the guys who will attend, Don Ossie will be there, Jack Baker, Buddy Hunter, Mike Paxton, Kim Andrew, Bruce Poole, Chuck Rainey was a strong pitcher.
Wow.
Some of the guys.
That's good. Big Jack Baker, home run Baker. 34 homers here.
So that should be a fun event.
That's who, what's his name, beat his record, I think. Wasn't it Alcantara? Hit 35.
Alcantara, yeah.
Yeah, I think he hit 35, and that was the team record here, Jack Baker.
Jack home run Baker.
Yeah, Birmingham, Alabama.
Down to Wilton Veras, and that ball took a nasty hop over his head. Wow.
It's a hot corner. That's why they call it the hot corner. That was sizzling hot right there.
Wilton Veras almost lost a couple of teeth on that one. Watch this hop.
Oh, wow. You can't get your glove up. See how he's got his glove down right there? Expecting the ball to maybe hit him chest high.
He's lucky he got his head down.
He is.
So some trouble here for Dustin Hermanson. 2 on, nobody out. As we go to the top of the order, Jason Knupfer. 0 for 3 against Sonny Kim. The line on Sonny Kim was impressive. 7 innings, no runs, 2 hits. Struck out 5 and walked 2.
See Hermanson here, not trying to be fancy. Throw the ball down the middle right now with something on it. He'll give up some hits. But you got to get his work in.
The 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Caught him.
Pretty good pitch right there. See the ball tail in. See, he's right now, the hitter is just locked. He just can't do anything. He's thinking out over the plate. His vision, his thinking is out there, you know, and all of a sudden bang, inside, too late. You know, you just don't have the time to pull the trigger.
He starts PJ Forbes off with a breaking ball. It's 1-0.
That's why a lot of times, you know, we talk about zone hitting. That's why the hitter, he might have been zone hitting, but he was looking outside or away, middle of the plate, not in.
Fly ball right field. Jeff Abbott toward the line. He has it, bluffing the tag at second base and hanging on there is the DH, Bruce Haven. There are 2 outs.
Hermanson's showing a very good fastball. And he's having a little trouble juggling there or balancing the ball.
Chase Utley, the third baseman, 0 for 3 tonight. Paw Sox lead it 5-0. Fastball in for a strike. Well, I had a chance to watch Dustin quite a bit in spring training in Fort Myers, and we were very impressed in watching him in his demeanor on the mound. He really has a nastiness to him on the hill, and I had not met him yet the first time I saw him pitch, and I was a little apprehensive to go up and talk to him because on the mound he really kind of has that demeanor, is get out of my way. Almost the guy that I thought of was Al Abrosky, the Madden-Garian.
Yeah. Well, they get the game face on. You know, they're focusing. This is a living. Think about that. This is the way they make a living. They could have, well, pitcher certainly could hurt himself and his career could be over. But if you get knocked around a little bit too, you know, you start thinking. Manager starts thinking, maybe even, you know, the players, geez, maybe he's not throwing good anymore, you know. Remember Pedro in the first, when he got hit the first game, and
right,
everybody's up in arms. Wow, what's the matter with Pedro? Is he all done? He had one bad game.
Hermanson's a much different character off the field than he is on the field. He's a very nice guy and easygoing, but on the hill he is he's a competitor.
Well, I say. And the hitter too has to be, you know, serious, very serious. He can't be. And you know, a lot of times you get traded from a team to another team, and there's good friends. You know, you can't feel sorry for them. You got to go right after them.
Fouled at the plate by Utley, and it's 2-2. Well, this was a pretty good trade the Red Sox are about to pull off. They'll acquire a veteran pitcher to put in their bullpen, and the person of Dustin Hermanson, player that they have been playing without all season.
Yeah, that's right. It's like making a move, trading deadline. We all know that you just cannot have enough pitching. When you can get a pitcher, pretty good one.
2-2 pitch. Down low, 3-2.
You got to do it.
The runners will get the head start. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Paw Sox up 5-0 against the best team in the International League, Scranton-Wilkes Barre. Knowing the runners would get the head start, Hermanson gave him a look. Three-2 pitch. Did he go? No, he did not, according to the umpire. Scott Packard making the call out there at second base. Let's see.
Yeah, it looked like he brought it back. That's such a judgment call because, you know, the hitter has control of the bat, maybe goes not completely past the home plate. You know, shouldn't be. Really shouldn't be. Maybe even sometimes a little past it.
Here is David Doster, second walk of the inning issued by Dustin Hermanson. 2 walks and a hit. The bases are loaded. Fouled off the mask of catcher Kevin Brown, and quickly it's 0-2. Haven is the runner on third. J.P. Roberge is at second base, and Chase Utley is at first. The 0-2 pitch. fouled back. Again, the 0-2. Well outside, 1-2. Good stab by Kevin Brown.
Looks like he tried to put a little extra on that ball. Reared back. See that arm go way back? That's what it's. Gotta calm down and stay in the strike zone.
1-2 pitch. Pop foul off of first. Todd Betts gives it a look, but it is back into the seats.
I think he's only thrown 1 or 2 other pitches beside the fastball. Just challenging hitters, which is what he should be doing. I mean, let's face it.
Hermanson is 29 years old. He won 14 games a year ago for St. Louis. The 1-2. Little pop-up off of first. And Betts has it to retire the side. So Dustin Hermanson leaves them loaded. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Paw Sox leading it 5-0. Back at McCoy Stadium, the Paw Sox leading it 5-0. Dustin Hermanson just leaving the bases loaded. Quick reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Pawtucket Red Sox and the National Association of Professional Baseball Leagues Incorporated, and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the expressed written consent of the Pawtucket Red Sox and the National Association of Professional Baseball Leagues Incorporated is strictly prohibited. And another new pitcher in for Scranton. It's Jose Santiago.
Second game of the year for him. He's got 1 save. 1 for 1. 1 inning. 1 hit. Wonder if he's any relation to Jose Santiago, formerly with the Red Sox.
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
He was designated for assignment by the Phillies on July 7th, and he did accept his assignment. Here's Dustin Hermanson. He was kind of fired up coming off the hill. Glad to get out of the bases loaded, Cham. A little frustrated with himself, Rico, I think, for the couple of walks that he issued.
Yeah, but I obviously feeling good. That would be my concern, is that groin, you know, there's no twinge in there or any problem with that. And you can see that there isn't. So now it's just the strike zone and, you know, the normal things of pitching that he can talk to his pitching coach about.
Bottom third of the order for the Paw Sox: Angel Santos, Durnell Stenson, Kevin Brown. Santos 0 for 3. You can make it 1 for 4. Lines a base hit in the left field.
Nice short swing by Santos that time, as opposed to that big long swing we saw in the other at bats. Even that was a little big, but you could see he shortened it up from where he held the bat to where he hit the ball. Went right to the ball that time.
Getting back to Dustin Hermanson for a second, Rico, as Durnell Stenson stands in. Do you think the fact that he's gone now the first half of the season, nursing that groin injury, really not doing a lot of throwing, his shoulder's going to be really strong, I would think. The fact that he's been able to, he's going to come in basically where everybody else was in April.
Well, yeah, that's true, but he also has to be careful that he doesn't, you know, overdo it again. By that I mean, you know, overextend himself. He gets back in a major league game, and you know, he can be pumped up and come back in, and now try to overthrow or stride too long or something and re-injure that groin. So it's, you got to be careful.
Some people have wondered if the Red Sox would just go ahead and drop him in the rotation, but he's clearly not ready for that. He has to stretch that arm out. This is like going through spring training again for him all over again.
Yeah, you're right. You want to break him in easy.
Could be, should be, two. Nice play at second base, on to first. Nice job by Nupfer to tag Santos on his way to second, then on to first to get Stenson.
Yeah, it's one thing that you as a runner want to prevent that second baseman from tagging you. So if you could see the play develop ahead of you, you've got to stop, which he did. But the one thing he might have done there is just drop to the ground, and it might have made the second baseman throw the ball to first base, and maybe he could have gotten up and got to the second. That's the only way right there.
Brings up the number 9 hitter, Kevin Brown. 0 for 3 tonight. Actually, the Red Sox right now could use Dustin Hermanson in the bullpen. So aside from the fact that he was a starter at the beginning of the year, right now the need really seems to be in the bullpen with Alan Embry going on the DL with tendonitis in his pitching arm.
No, absolutely. That would be the place to use him. Middle, you know, you can work him maybe when he first comes back an inning or two, and then even up to 3 innings, you know, for a middle relief situation. Work him back if they want him to come back as a starter.
Do you have any theories at all on Rich Garces, or what happened, or what's going on with him? I mean, a guy that had been so consistent. I mean, basically, you knew what you were going to get from El Guapo the last couple of years, and this year it's been a totally opposite situation.
Well, think about him in the past. Last couple of years, he's had some arm problems.
I'm going to have to get your opinion next inning because Santiago makes quick work of the Paw Sox here in the 8th. We are 3 outs away from a Pawtucket Red Sox victory. It's 5-0 as we go to the 9th. Welcome back to McCoy Stadium. Pawtucket Red Sox baseball has been brought to you in part by Dunkin' Donuts. Escape to a cooler place with a cold, refreshing iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. This has been a refreshing night at McCoy Stadium with the Paw Sox leading at 5-0. Big night for Wilton Veras at the plate. He's had 3 hits and 3 runs batted in. Rob Ryan in center field making a great catch and also belting a 2-run home run. Sonny Kim was terrific on the hill. 7 shutout innings, and now Dustin Hermanson will try to combine for the shutout.
Well, you know, for Scranton, you think about this now. They're facing their hitters lineup is facing 2 basically big league pitchers, Hermanson and Kim. Kim has, you know, been up and down, and he's got big league stuff. So, you know, it's been frustrating for them, but it also gives them a gauge as to what they have to do to hit big league pitching. This is the type of pitching that they have to hit better, you know, than they hit tonight to get and stay in the big leagues. So I always like to see that. When I manage too, I like to see who did well against the better pitchers in the league. You know, that gives you an indication too. It might not be as high an average as somebody else, but they hit the better pitchers.
We have Eric Valent, Marlon Byrd, and Johnny Estrada for Scranton. First pitch swinging. Back at second base, short left center field. It's Freddie Sanchez grabbing it. 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Oh, that's nice.
Before I forget, though, just your thoughts again on Rich Garces. You were giving me your theory.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some arm problems in the past. He's elbow problems and could be catching up to him a little bit. Plus, the other thing could be catching up with him. You know, his weight. He looks heavier than he's ever looked. And
which is ironic because he was actually as slim as he had ever been in spring training. And you're right, now he looks like he's put that on and then some.
Yeah, and you know, he was hurt. Right, he was on a DL. How long was he on? A couple of weeks?
Yeah, about 15 days.
Yeah, so I mean, there's another interruption into the season. So
that seemed to be a break to get his head straight more than anything else. They had the hamstring situation, but he had been pitching right up until then. So,
well, I know he wasn't very, very happy with the way things have been going. And I think even talking about maybe moving on somewhere. But you know, when he's right, boy, he's tough against righties and lefties.
That's why it's been such a surprise this season. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Hermanson. Misses. 3-1. As the Red Sox will have an interesting decision to make when they activate Dustin Hermanson. Wayne Gomes and Willie Banks, the 2 primary candidates to be demoted, but You never know. Some talk that perhaps Rich Garces could be on the line.
Send him down, you mean?
Well, they
Or,
can't
no.
send him down without exposing him to waivers. So who knows what they'll do? But right now, it's clear that Grady Little does not have a lot of confidence in Rich Garces. Marlon Byrd draws the 2-out walk, or 1-out walk.
Well, anything's possible. I like Willie Banks. Combs, of course, we saw both of them here.
Willie Banks polished off the ball game today in relief of John Burkett, who picked up the win. That was a nice addition, Rico, John Burkett. It was one of those signings you were a little unsure about, a veteran pitcher that was released by Tampa Bay 2 seasons ago.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Like today, keeps you in the ball game.
Yes.
And not just the lesser teams, you know, he keeps you in there, especially this year against the better teams. Well, you know, gives you a chance for your hitters to do something. And finally, they did later in the game.
Right.
Picked up a win.
I was impressed what Rolando Araujo did last night, coming back from his disabled list stint.
Well, he'd give you some good games. There's no doubt about it. Maybe he's not as consistent as you'd like, but when he's on, boy, he's tough.
A ball and 2 strikes to Johnny Estrada.
Yeah, I was just thinking the Red Sox, Embry going on the DL, but he'll be coming back, coming off it just at the right time too. You know, with August and September now, you need him in a bad way.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Second strikeout for Dustin Hermanson, and Scranton is down to their final out. And obviously, Dustin Hermanson was on a pitch count because they will go to the bullpen now. 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Yeah. Exactly what happened. Got the amount of pitches. Did a nice job. No problems with injuries. His groin in particular. So that's what you want. Your rehab.
So a nice response from the McCoy Stadium faithful here as Dustin Hermanson pitches an inning and 2/3. Gives up 1 hit, walks 2, strikes out 2. He leaves responsible for 1 base runner and gives way now to Derek Hasselhoff. And we'll tell you a little bit more about the righty right after this. Welcome back. Scranton down to their final out, and it will be up to Derek Hasselhoff to get it for the Pawtucket Red Sox. He's the 3rd pitcher of the night for Buddy Bailey.
Well, he's making his 20th appearance. He's 0-1 with a 310 earned run average. He's got 6 saves. Pitched well, exceptionally well early in the year, and struggled a little bit, but he's got a pretty good arm. He's just come in here now to get 1 out.
While pitching for the first time since June 23rd, when he was hit on the right arm by a line drive, which knocked him from the game against Charlotte. He's allowed 5 of the 10 inherited runners to score. He's facing the DH, Bruce Haven. You were talking before the break about Embry coming back. He'll be back in a couple of weeks, obviously, and then that's when the real tough decision will be forced upon the Red Sox. Obviously, by that time, they may even have another pitcher in house, depending upon what happens in the whole trade market. But between Banks, Gomes, and Rich Garces, those 3 may not be sleeping as comfortably the next couple of weeks.
Well, you think, you know, Gomes and not Garces.
Willie Banks.
Willie Banks. That's just a guess that, you know, you figure Hermanson and Avery. Oh boy, I keep getting him mixed up with Avery, but he's got a
Please
better
don't.
arm.
No.
But both of those guys will come back, and maybe Banks and what's his name?
I really like what Embry was doing too. It's too bad that he goes on the DL
Yeah.
because he really.
He's throwing. I tell you, I thought he hurt his arm. Didn't he hurt his arm a few years ago?
Yeah.
And he was throwing with Cleveland when he came up with Cleveland. He was middle 90s.
Yeah.
Then
He
got
can
hurt.
bring it. He can bring it.
Yeah, now he's back.
3-2 pitch, ground ball to shortstop, and that's it. Ball game. Freddie Sanchez to Todd Betts, and that will do it. The Pawtucket Red Sox shut out the best team in the International League. They beat Scranton-Wilkes Barre 5-0. Solid performance tonight for Sonny Kim on the hill, Rico.
Great pitching by the Paw Sox. I mean, they got it done. As I mentioned earlier, two big league pitchers facing this tough Scranton team, and they did the job, and they got the clutch hitting also from Wilton Veras.
The clutch hitting, and then the fine play in center field by Rob Ryan, and Ryan also goes deep. And
Big home run.
we watched Dustin Hermanson work an inning and 2/3 of shutout baseball. We'll come back. We'll wrap it all up as the Pawtucket Red Sox shut out Scranton-Wilkes Barre 5-0.